you've been wanting.
Hello.
Crack Clay.
I'm Veronica.
I'm Tim.
We are Cracked.
Crack Clay.
And we are Cracked.
We want married couples to stay in your marriage. God hates divorce for so many reasons. Stay in your marriage and work it out. Quit going the easy way out. Anybody can divorce someone. Anybody can do that. But be a real man and woman and stick it out. Find out what the marriage needs and pursue it.
We're not saying just stay in
Persevere.
misery. We're not saying stay in misery. We're saying work at it. The two of you work together.
Are you communicating with your wife?
Work together.
Your husband? Are you loving her unconditionally? Is the wife respecting the husband unconditionally? If that doesn't happen, you're going to have lots and lots of problems. Kansas City, here I come. Go Chiefs.
Well, that was
personal opinion. Just saying. Okay, honey.
It's Super.
In case you forgot, it's Super Sunday, and we just want to be transparent and real about staying with your spouse and quit doing the revolving door of meeting someone else, and 4 or 5 years later they get bored and you do it again. What do you got? 8 kids that are just without a mom and dad? Don't do it. You're going to feel guilty. You're not going to be a parent to your kid again, and you're going to put the child in the middle, and you have another socialist child who is soon going to be an atheist. I'm just saying. Karl Marx, and who's the guy that wrote the Origin of Species? Origin of Species. What's his name? The evolution jerk.
Charles Darwin?
Charles Darwin. Our best friends. Why? Because they're both antichrist. Communism, socialism wants the government to be God and do away with God. And that's why Charles Darwin and him were best friends. He dedicated all of his writings to Karl Marx. Charles Darwin. They're in bed together because they want people to get their eyes off of God. The reason why we're here, Jesus. If you gotta put your mindset on Jesus. Only Jesus. Him in the middle of your marriage. Are you going to get stronger? And as a Christian, you have Jesus living inside of you to help you do the impossible, the unthinkable. If you feel like you're in one side of the marriage and you're not getting your part, and he or she is just doing this, that, and the other, and you just think that, man, why should I even stay here? You can. Talk to us. We want to pray for you. We got something here for the kid. Married couples to stay together, right, sweetie?
Well, we've been walking through love and respect, and a lot of it is just about different ways that men interpret criticism as contempt. Mm-hmm. And so many times women, they think that their men are big and strong and masculine and they can't be hurt. So they think they can say whatever they want to their husband and that he's just gonna float off like a raindrop. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
On a water repellent windshield or something? I don't know. Anyway, but they do feel pain. Men do. Those words, that criticism that they perceive as contempt, that does hurt them. And it hurts and it's
hard for men to communicate, so then we kind of put in a shell, and then we think, well, the only thing's going to help us is divorce. But that they don't want to, they're so hurt, then do that.
So, women tend to look at themselves as a delicate little dewdrop. I think our men are big and they know that they're fragile, but they think that their men are just so strong and that nothing can hurt them. But they're just as fragile. And if you have any question about how men are fragile, look at the first chapter of Esther, right. And the king and Esther. In the very first chapter, his wife defied him in front of the court, the king's court, and so what did he do? He had her killed. Because that defiance was disrespect. So men, all the way back to biblical times, it's not a new thing. They are easily hurt by our lack of disrespect. And so, and somebody posted about, I think Michael Hopkins posted about how, and we posted yesterday about how if men would treat his wife as the first priority, and and love her as a treasure, as a princess.
That's what you posted.
Yes, but you didn't. I mean, I tagged you,
Right.
and that if women would respect their husbands as an equal, so many times we talk down to our husbands. We talk down to them. We think that we know more than they do, and we treat them like they're less than. And if we wouldn't do that, if we would treat them like they're equal, then they would feel respected and loved.
And sometimes,
Hi,
ladies,
Carla.
you have to be a conduit between a son and their father, because it's hard for some dads to be a father to their, especially their sons.
And
Sons need their dads so bad, so much. That's how they become a man.
Mm-hmm.
They won't look at their dad how he works and how he plays and how he gets along with people. He needs to see that, how to be a dad. He can only be a man by looking at his father, and that's hard for some fathers to do that. So, ladies, you have to be a conduit between your son and your father by lifting your husband up, not cutting your husband down. And a lot of times we get divorced, that happens.
Well, even in the home before that.
True.
Even in the home before that, because you're in unhappy marriages, and because women, like I said, they think that they know better, and they want to protect. They think that they know how to raise the kids better than the husband, and so they talk down, or they create divisiveness. They create a divide between them and their kids, between the kids and the husband, the father. You can't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Never put the kids in the middle of your problems. And never talk down about their father.
Right.
Especially, like Tim said, to sons. Sons need their fathers. Their fathers are their role models, or they're supposed to be. And if they feel like that their father is nothing, then they think that they're nothing because they're part of him. He's part of them.
If your son has a great relationship with his dad, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. So swallow your pride sometimes.
And shut your mouth.
Selfishness, and encourage. Divorced or married, don't get divorced. Stay in it. Boys need their dads. Boys need their dads. Don't destroy your husband because of guilt that you have with your kids because of divorce, because of you're so bad at each other. Don't destroy kids' lives.
We've been reading this week, in addition to Love and Respect, we've been reading Strong Mothers, Strong Sons by Dr. Meg Meeker. And it's really awesome. It is a really, really great book, and we really recommend it. But so that's why we're talking a lot about the children thing tonight, too, in addition to the respect and loving and respecting your husbands, because it goes hand in hand. She really talks about how the way the parents are treating each other then carries over into the way of the children. And then what happens is, mom like overcompensates because dad's gone, or like on a road trip, or she makes him her confidant instead of dad, and that is wrong. The child should never be her confidant. The child should be the child, and even if she has a problem with her husband, she should be talking to a therapist, talking to her husband first. If that doesn't work, talking to her therapist or one of her girlfriends, but not taking it to her son. Never the child. So we just really feel strongly as two parents and who are divorced and have a blended family, and as people who other people come to us. Other people come to us and they talk to us about.
It's terrible.
People talk to us about the things that they see and that they hear and what's going on in their lives and their marriages, and y'all, it is work, but it is worth it. You have to be intentional about your marriage. Intentionally work on your marriage and respect your husband, ladies.
Love your wife.
There's a reason why you fell in love with him. It wasn't because he was a bumbling idiot.
Treasure your wife, guys. Treasure her. Just like you did when you were dating her. Boy, if we kept that up through our marriage.
It's sometimes, we women, we think that, well, he asked us to marry him because he's so in love with us. Well, while that may be true, he's in love with us, but we only think about things from a love perspective. But if you think back to when you were dating, you probably weren't criticizing him, critiquing every little thing that he did, and he was your hero. You looked up to him, and that made him feel important. And you gave him those goo eyes, and that made him feel important and loved and respected. Not love. See, I'm a woman, so I'm saying respect. I'm saying love. And so, but now, once you get married and the day-to-day kicks in, the routine, then, and maybe he leaves the toilet seat up. Not my husband, actually. He's very good about that. But But maybe he leaves the pillows here. Maybe he leaves the doors open. Or there's something he does, the little things that start to get on your nerves. And then you start to pick. And you start to pick. And then those little things become big things. And then you nag. And he's feeling disrespected.
Good stuff.
And it's not like it was when you were dating. Get back to the love you had when you were dating. And Michael Hopkins did say something about what people need to get back to communication and stop posing just the religious views. And you're right. Marriage
Absolutely.
is not about legalism.
No.
It's not about legalism. God, we have.
It's not about staying together, not to divorce, which is terrible, but you might kill each other first. That's not a marriage.
That's not good for the kids
That's
either.
not good. You think kids like that? You think the kids like breaking up arguments and standing between you guys trying to kill each other? That's not too good for kids either. She also talked about in the book about how important it is for sons, especially, to work. Work. I went through the whole Bible. There's like 400. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 34 places. How important it is to work. That keeps kids from being socialist. Why? Because if we give the kids everything they want without allowing them to work, what's going to happen? They're going to expect the government to do it.
When they're entitled, then they start to be entitled.
You raise entitled kids.
Then
Okay?
they just, from mom and dad taking care of them to... they
Exactly.
wanna work.
So,
They
I
wanna
mean,
work.
read the Bible. The Bible has all the answers to your marriage, to your life, to your relationship with Jesus. You got to put Jesus first. How do we put Jesus first? Read the Bible and pray. The power of prayer. You know, when Jesus' disciples didn't ask Jesus, show us how to heal. He said, show us how to pray. We want to know the power of prayer. Because as a Christian, that curtain is ripped. As soon as Jesus died on the cross, it was finished. That curtain ripped and it went dark. We have access to the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Are you utilizing that today in your marriage? Do it on Super Sunday. Start right now. We love you guys. His name be glorified.
So, you're rooting for Kansas City. Huh?
Kansas City. Kansas City,
Don't tell
here I
Jennifer.
come.
Don't tell Jennifer. Well,
Kansas City, next year, I'm telling you right now, we're going to be hosting the next Super Bowl because
Who's
the
winning?
Browns are going to win, and the host team has to host the Super Bowl. So right now, honey, start cleaning the house because we're going to host the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah.
You never might be in heaven
The
doing it.
Browns are going to win the Super Bowl next year. You're funny.
Any more?
Any more jokes?
Okay.
Exactly.
That's it.
All right.
You guys, I
Look,
know.
we're live, guys.
Okay. Well, I can still tickle live.
All
Okay,
right,
we love you
guys.
guys.
You have a
Bye.
great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.